Customs officers at Sydney Airport suspect a concealment of narcotics in one of the bags belonging to this family. And now they're taking a closer look at some of their books as well.
What sort of books are they?
They're like kids' books. One's a kids' book, like an encyclopedia.
Where do you think the concealment is? Inside the covers of the book?
Both covers, yeah. You can see it, they're heavy. They're heavy when you feel them.
That orange colour means that there may be something concealed in the books.
Do you know what's in these books?
Chị có biết cái gì để trong cuốn sách này không?
Úc nè.
Dạ,
Lo Việt Nam á.
Dạ, đang ở Việt Nam gửi qua. He said his former workmate or colleague that they used to work together, by chance met in Vietnam and asked him to bring these books back. He said the books belong to his friend. Do you want me to get his name? The name of his friend. Còn cuốn sách này,
Có gì trong không?
Cuốn sách này là ai?
Nó tưởng thấy con đó, nó tưởng mua về cho nó coi.
Thấy con đó, nó tưởng con đó, mua cho nó.
Are they innocent dupes or knowing drug couriers, using children in an attempt to fool customs into believing they're innocent travellers?
Most people who travel with families are legitimate, but some people will use any means to assist them importing narcotics.
Anything you say or do may be used as evidence. Do you understand this?
Every year, over 100,000 containers arriving from overseas and carrying a vast array of goods are inspected by customs officers. Most are cleared and released within 24 hours. Some are not.
This container, it's come from Hong Kong. It looks like boxes of clothing or material, so it's clothing of some sort. Our targeting groups risk assess this one as it needs to go in for a full exam.
From what we understand, it originated from China. There's approximately 134 packages which we've got here today. So it's a fair bit.
If it is just clothing, there might not be anything sinister about this consignment. But as the search begins, officers have already determined that there's something not quite right. At Sydney Airport, immigration officers want to speak to a Korean passenger because her personal details have raised an alarm.
She has a date of birth that's only 3 days different to a person that we're actually interested in. She's from Korea, she's a Korean national. She's come to Australia on a 417, which is a working holiday maker. So she's already been in Australia 12 months, plenty of time to do a little bit of work, have a look around, have a good time, and then head back to Korea. But she's back again on a 976, which is a tourist visa. So I just want to check her bona fides and see why she's come back after her 12-month stint.
The passenger is visibly upset, and now officers have also discovered that she has little money and nowhere to stay.
You got any more cash in your bag?
With few funds, no contacts and personal details very close to a person of interest, officers now need to work out if this is just a case of mistaken identity or if this passenger is trying to avoid detection. At the Melbourne Container Examination Facility, officers have started unpacking dozens of boxes. The contents appear to be designer clothing, but under scrutiny, there are major problems.
That just looks like a cheap iron-on, doesn't it?
Yeah. Definitely not a genuine product at all, I'd say.
No, I don't think it is.
They've unpacked some of the boxes and discovered a number of very suspect clothing items displaying legitimate, well-known brand names.
Oh, that's definitely a fake. The logo across the front doesn't actually match up when the top is zipped up. We're missing half the A in Billabong and part of the B in the second part of the word, so I doubt that you'd see that on a genuine product.
The quality of these aren't anywhere near as good as your genuine products, obviously. Like, just in this jacket alone, stitching's nowhere near as good quality as stuff.
What's the label like?
The label's pretty well made, but you know, you've got this cheap price tag sticker on it, and the jacket doesn't even open.
And there's heaps of it.
So far the tally we've got for the Roxy, we've got 1,293 jackets, 150 tops, the Billabong 2,041, and the Quicksilver tops, there's 97 of those.
As the investigation into the counterfeit goods continues, a second shipment has just arrived, and it looks like officers may now have an even bigger problem. It's been a hectic morning in customs, and with the arrival of a flight from Hanoi, officers are about to make a discovery that will make them even busier. This family of 3 has just returned from a trip to Vietnam.
And the zippers see sharp, so I'll get an X-ray of that and an iron scan as well.
And officers are now X-raying their suitcase.
Okay, that's an X-ray image of an empty suitcase belonging to a family we're currently conducting examination on. The bag's empty, but around the outside there you can see some shaded areas. Those shades shouldn't appear there, that should be clear. That leads us to believe that there's some sort of organic substance, probably narcotics, concealed in the rim of the bag.
The bag? Yeah, the bag's in the book, I think. We'll just stick the bag as well.
A swab from the suitcase is tested for traces of drugs.
Negative.
It's a negative result, but as the X-ray has revealed organic matter, officers suspect a concealment of narcotics, so this family won't be going anywhere soon. Immigration is trying to get information from a Korean passenger whose details are disturbingly similar to a person of interest to the department.
Sumi, why have you come to Australia today?
그리고 같이 있으려고 왔습니다.
Yeah, she came to Australia for a holiday and also to meet her boyfriend because her boyfriend is actually in Australia at the moment, so she wants to be with her boyfriend.
On your passenger card, Sumi, you say that you're going to stay 3 months?
예.
That's correct?
Is that 그게 맞습니까?
예, 맞습니다.
Yeah, that's right.
You have a ticket that is an open return, and so you intend to use this ticket before its expiry date?
그렇죠.
Yeah, that's right.
Sumi says she was meant to meet her Australian boyfriend at the airport.
There was nobody here at the airport waiting for you. We sent an officer, an immigration officer, into the public area of the airport, and there was nobody there waiting for you.
The friend or the boyfriend was supposed to assure support for her. She doesn't have enough funds to support a 3-month stay, so that could also go against her if we don't actually locate that person or have some contact with him.
So we don't get upset. We will contact them. We will try to contact them for you and let you know what's happening.
제가 범죄자입니까?
She's a criminal.
Just wait here for me, Sumi. Would you like some water?
Customs in Melbourne have already seized more than 4,000 pieces of counterfeit brand name clothing. But the load may have just doubled with the arrival of a second container.
Basically what we've got is a container which is what we believe to be the second part of a shipment. We did a job with the first half of this consignment, which was trademark infringed goods, and we're believing that this consignment is the other half of it.
Yeah, this one, it's exactly the same as the last shipment we had. Same consignee, same exporter, and coming from Hong Kong. And as the other one was full of trademark goods, that's we're a fair chance that this one will be trademark goods as well.
Looks like we've got 20 again in this box. We've got a Billabong jacket here. This is a style that we haven't seen before. It looks like we've probably got similar quality to the other products that we found as well, which would indicate that these are probably counterfeit goods also.
Customs has interrupted a multi-billion-dollar industry which damages both the legitimate business it's copied and the public who buy it.
What we do look for are trademarks that are registered with Customs specifically by the owner of the trademark. So in this particular case, we will contact the registered objector and we'll provide them with images, we'll provide them with information to help them identify whether this is an appropriate use of their trademark or not.
It's a growing threat because counterfeit goods now make up a staggering 8% of the world clothing trade. Most of the clothes seized by Customs are bound for markets across Australia, where they are passed off as the real thing.
I don't think Billabong will be too impressed with this lot. you know, that at the end of the day, these are reputable businesses. They've got you know, pride in their product, and yet to go out in the marketplace and see this kind of stuff representing their business, they're not going to be very happy at all.
When a passenger arrives at Sydney Airport bearing some exotic plants from Asia, quarantine officers must assess whether they can be kept or if their importation is to be nipped in the bud.
I'm not happy with that. You don't know what's in it. It could be charcoal.
It is charcoal.
It is charcoal, but we only accept clear-based gels. So.
These flasks are usually brought in from Taiwan, and I've never had problems before. I brought some in about 2 years ago.
Live plants can be brought into Australia, as long as they are correctly packaged and come with an import permit.
But as you can see, they're all starting to die.
Yeah,
this one, that one's shocking. Look at that one.
They're orchids and a little worse for wear from their long journey. Despite the efforts of the owner to have them packaged properly, they may not be allowed in.
They have got the botanical name and they have got the normal name on it, so we'll look it up. But that's not sufficiently processed for our liking. Doesn't meet our requirements for import of a live plant.
2 of those cost $55 and the other one $25, but then I had to pay an extra $50 for them to clear quarantine requirements. And I asked the question, what happens if when I get, oh no, it will be fine.
But it's not fine. Despite his efforts to do the right thing, Quarantine Officer Georgia doesn't want to take any risks, which could mean this passenger might lose the lot.
I think I'm going to not allow them into Australia because, only because of the clear base. It's not clear, it's charcoal. We don't know what else is contaminated with the charcoal. It needs to come in with a clear gel base.
Counterfeit products are a multi-billion-dollar industry. All of these boxes filled with fake clothing worth hundreds of thousands of dollars will now be destroyed. The only way to protect local industry.
We're just down at the tip at the moment here. We've got a truckload full of counterfeit and variable goods actually, which will be destroyed today. These goods will then be destroyed by having the large earth mover run over them, rendering them unusable for sale, etc. should they be recovered at any stage. Those goods will then be pushed into the hole and then deep buried. We're probably getting a couple of seizures a week, and not just small consignments, we're getting large, full container loads of shoes, socks, fragrances. Now there's evidence coming out of medicines that are coming out through China, those sort of things. So it's very prolific at the moment. Yes, it's definitely growing.
Trademark owners can choose to take civil action against the counterfeit importer and manufacturer. In this case, no action was taken. Quarantine officers at Sydney Airport are assessing some exotic live orchids to see whether they are okay to import under quarantine guidelines.
Have you looked into our requirements for bringing in plant materials at all?
No, I brought some from Taiwan about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because things can actually change.
Quarantine laws and guidelines are always being assessed to keep up to date with risks from outside Australia. It might have helped the man to do a little homework, as the material the plants are stored in may no longer be acceptable under quarantine laws.
What we're concerned about is it might be a charcoal base, but our requirements now need to have a clear gel base, not a charcoal base for these plants. Also, what I've got to do is just check up on our ICON database to ensure that that is allowed to come into Australia.
Officers check the names of the plants against the database to see if any are prohibited. There is also a risk the seedlings could carry disease and threaten our local markets. So at this stage, the passenger could lose his precious cuttings.
Well, I mean, I did the right thing and declared them. I didn't want any problems, but it looks like I could have done my money.
Immigration officers are still trying to contact Sumi's boyfriend, but without any luck. If they can't track him down soon, they will be left with no alternative but to send Sumi back to Korea.
And at this stage we have no way of contacting them other than leaving constant messages. She's got no other mobile, any other avenue?
No, she has no other contact.
Well, it just seems odd to me if it's your girlfriend who's coming all the way from overseas and you're supposed to be meeting her with your family. Personally, on a personal point of view, you would think that you'd wait around and see what happened to them, or you'd start asking questions to the authorities here at the airport to see if they had any information regarding your girlfriend.
Officers are worried there is a more devious reason Sumi's boyfriend is not answering their calls.
At this point, we haven't been able to positively identify him as an Australian citizen. Part of the reason he may not be answering is he could be unlawful. Until we know what his status is, we really can't make any judgments. We just have to find that out first.
And the news that her boyfriend seems to have abandoned her is distressing.
Sumi's very upset. She was doing well at the interview until she discovered that there was no one here at the airport to meet her. And of course, when you travel halfway around the world and there's no one at the other end to meet you and you're expecting somebody, it's quite a shock. And hopefully, for her sake, there has been somebody here. They've just gotten a little impatient and they've had to go to work. They haven't been able to stay. So hopefully we'll be able to chase somebody up for her. But at this stage, it's not looking promising.
But I belong to you. Why I have like this? Why?
An orchid enthusiast is waiting for quarantine officers to tell him if he can bring these seedlings across the border.
We've assessed the plants and they cannot come in without an import permit. Yeah.
Officers offer a solution that might enable him to keep his precious plants.
What we can offer you is to send it into nursery stock.
Yes.
And then you can ring them and decide if you want to go through the process of obtaining a permit to import them and growing them through quarantine.
Well, I wouldn't want to lose them.
Well, that's...
The passenger elected to have the plants grown in a quarantine-approved nursery. Cultivating the plants to see if they are carrying disease takes up to 3 months. Back in customs, passengers have been officially cautioned after officers suspect 2 concealments of narcotics.
This morning we've had a family of 3 people arrive from Vietnam. During a baggage examination we located a couple of books which were heavy, and inside the hard covers, it's a definite possibility. This quantity of heroin has been placed inside each cover. Also, there's a large soft-sided suitcase. We placed them through the X-ray and it showed us images which led us to believe that there's quantities of heroin placed around the construction of the bag. We've currently got them in the interview rooms. We've conducted frisk searches of their bodies. They've been negative. Australian Federal Police are just in the process of taking over of the matter. They'll conduct brief interviews with both adults and then they'll accompany them back to their offices for further record of interview.
The books and bag contained a total of 1.68 kilograms of heroin, with a street value of over $2 million. For everyone involved, it is sad to see a child caught up in the dangerous trade of narcotic drug smuggling.
Happens every now and then. It's still disturbing. Yeah.
In immigration, the mystery of Sumi's boyfriend has now been resolved, and officers have tracked him down.
Are you in a relationship with her? Okay. How long have you been in a relationship with her? 1 year and a few months. Are you going to support her stay here in Australia?
Emma has just contacted Sumi's Australian friends here who have verified that she will be staying with them. Sumi, I'm sorry to have taken so long, but we have been successful in contacting your Australian friends. They were at the airport to meet you, but when you didn't come straight through, they got a little bit concerned, so they've gone home. But
they go to home.
They've gone home, but When we called them and spoke with them on the telephone, they said they will come in again to meet
really?
you. Yes, yes. So your boyfriend will be coming in to meet you. Okay? Okay. The time is now 10:33 and the interview is terminated.
So it turns out it was just a case of mistaken identity. And with that sorted out, Sumi gets the green light to continue her holiday. Today, Sydney's immigration wants to talk to this passenger, arriving from New Zealand, about some details that don't add up.
Okay, so can you please state your name aloud for me for the recording?
Vahid,
And where were you born?
Tehran.
And so why have you come to Australia today?
Freshing my mind, visiting some of my friends.
And how long do you intend on staying?
One day,
Only one day?
yes, and maybe a few hours.
And why are you only staying for one day?
I think it's enough.
It's enough?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you got a flight booked for departure?
Yes. Yeah, if I can get a ticket from here to Bangkok, I will travel to Bangkok for the reason to visit my wife. And she lives in Iran, but because I cannot go back to Iran, so I go to Bangkok and she comes to Bangkok. And
Okay, and you purchased your ticket for Australia with cash last night, is that
yes,
correct?
correct.
Now, do you have any outstanding charges in any country?
No.
No. So you've never been charged with a crime or pending?
No.
No. We have some information that you were charged with a crime in New Zealand.
Quarantine officers have to be thorough and, in some cases, tough during their baggage searches because biological hazards can come from the most unexpected of places.
You've got 2 gourds?
2 instruments.
Okay. Are they for decorative purposes?
No, it's my band, I'm a musician.
Oh, it's an
Different
instrument?
Different music.
All
That
right.
one and that one different music.
So did you take the gourds out of Australia and put them back in, or did you buy them overseas?
They're a wedding present.
Yeah, wedding present and overseas.
These passengers are returning after getting married in the groom's homeland, Cuba.
Are you going to play here in Australia?
I live here.
Oh, you live here?
I'm a musician too, dance and musician. I have one
okay.
band here. We play salsa and Cuban music.
Yeah.
And make it happy.
In
everybody
clubs
here.
or?
Club around Australia.
Yeah.
And represent Australia to outside too.
Right.
Professional musician and dance.
I'll just get you to read number 7, if you can.
Number 7.
Yeah. Do you have any wooden articles? Do you understand the question?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any reason why you didn't declare the gourds? See these seeds here?
Yeah.
These things can bring in exotic pests and diseases into the country.
Thousands of letters and parcels come through Sydney's international mail facility. Customs screens 100% of incoming mail, so if something looks suspect, it will show up on X-ray.
It's that one there.
It doesn't look quite right. It looks like a book, but it's not consistent with the image of a book.
So you can see the outline of the book right there. However, there seems to be some inconsistency within the book there. There's lines.
There seems to be a package within a package, so whoever sent this parcel might have deliberately hidden something inside the book.
It's definitely not a usual book, that's for sure.
Did you buy them overseas?
Newlyweds returning from their wedding in Cuba are finding out that failure to comply with border regulations can slow their process. Quarantine has just found undeclared items in their bags.
Okay. You've got a few seeds here and wooden articles as well.
No,
Okay, that need to be declared.
probably one mistake.
Yeah. Well, I did ask you whether you understood
Yeah, I
the
understand.
questions
Absolutely.
and read them. How often do you travel?
Many. Very
Many
often.
times?
Very often.
Okay, so you should be aware of these things.
So it's professional shop. I buy that thing.
Whether
It's
it's
all right.
professional or not,
I know it.
whether
I
it's
know
professional, you still need to declare it to quarantine.
Next time, no. Instrument coming inside.
Okay, one moment here.
At this point, the supervisor steps in to question the couple and determine whether a fine should be imposed on the newlyweds.
By failing to answer these questions, you've breached the Quarantine Act. I'm told that you're a frequent traveller, and as a result, I'd be recommending to my colleague here that you be fined today for failing to declare these items.
Okay, that's one issue, the fine, $220. The other issue, this instrument here, with these seeds, we can treat it for you. Gamma radiation.
Yeah. Or?
Otherwise, we destroy it.
Nah, this is really good.
Sydney immigration officers are talking to a passenger whose story about why he is here is developing a few holes.
We have information from New Zealand Police that he has outstanding charges there and that he was actually supposed to surrender his passport and he wasn't actually supposed to leave New Zealand.
The police caught the right person, that wasn't me.
It was dismissed from court?
Yes, because the police made a mistake. And one time, I've been in court for joining to demonstration, anti-war demonstration. And again, I dismissed because that was only political things.
And anything else?
And one time, arrested for assault.
And that's it?
Yep.
Okay. As I was explaining before, we have information that you were involved in a crime yesterday, the 12th.
So that didn't charge. I haven't charged for that.
Okay, so I'll just remind you of the warning I gave you at the beginning of the interview that it is an offence to provide false information or withhold information.
Things have gone from bad to worse for these newlyweds. Quarantine has discovered undeclared items in their bags, and now officers have found something unusual on the X-ray.
I just saw a few things on the screen.
Cigars.
Cigars?
Cigars. Okay.
That's probably what
That's your lines.
Got some genuine Cuban cigars here.
Okay, they need to be referred to customs.
So now the passengers will also be referred to customs because they may have brought in more than their duty-free allowance of 250 grams of tobacco each. If so, the couple will have to pay duty.
Yep.
But if you can just check on the cigars.
Yep, I'll
Do you need the cards?
No, I'll be fine with that.
These cigars could become a very expensive item for the newlyweds. Back at Sydney's mail handling centre, customs officers Michelle and Chris are in the process of opening a package from Brazil after the X-ray showed some inconsistencies.
Package is from Brazil. There's no declaration on the package, which is usually an indication that they don't want to let us know what's inside. Looks like a children's book.
Wrapped in plastic.
Wrapped in plastic. Looks like it's wrapped in cling wrap or something, doesn't it?
Definitely something on the inside of the cover.
The book would normally be quite hard all the way through, wouldn't it? There seems to be a lump through the middle. There it is. You can definitely feel there's a lump in the cover there.
At this stage, the lump in the middle of the book is inconclusive, so Chris will now take a swab to test if it may contain drugs.
An atomizer will detect particles of narcotics and tell you what sort of narcotics you may have concealed within an item. Looks like we've got a positive result for cocaine. Fairly high reading too, 2.5.
While the test is positive, it's only an indicator, and the officers will have to deconstruct the book to see exactly what they're dealing with.
So that page would normally be your first page. We'll note on top of that. And if we get in under here, we should have what we're after. There we go.
At Sydney Airport's immigration, officers are concerned about a possible fugitive from New Zealand. He is finally coming forward with details about his pending conviction.
I don't know whose car was that.
But can you explain to me what happened yesterday? What were you involved in?
There was a car, with burning the car. The police, he think maybe we did that, maybe that we didn't that.
So are you intending on returning to New Zealand for the 15th?
Of course, yes. I have to go back to New Zealand.
We have information that you were released on bail with the condition that you hand in your passport to the authorities by 7 p.m. yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah. Which you didn't. You purchased a ticket to Australia,
Yeah.
as you said, with cash and,
Yes.
and have travelled to Australia.
Yes.
So were you aware that you had to hand in your passport to the authorities and were not allowed to leave the country?
No, I don't think so.
In quarantine, two difficult options are being offered to passengers. Either gamma irradiate their instruments or they will be destroyed.
This is my job, you know? This is my job.
We understand it's your job.
The only other option with this item is that you can have this part of the item.
But not the seeds.
It's the seeds that are the issue. As these seeds present here, there's a potential that they can still be germinated. And if you put these in the ground, there's a risk that they may grow and grow a plant species that's not in Australia. So you can introduce weeds, you can introduce new genus that we don't have in Australia. Okay, so that's why these, if we gamma irradiate them, it kills any opportunity for these to grow.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to put them in the ground now, but there's a potential that it breaks, you decide you don't want it, you throw it away. That's when that risk can be. And given that we don't know what these species are, they could stay dormant as a seed for a long time.
Okay, so that's a fine of $220 and a treatment of $60 for the seeds.
Okay.
And that's
No
a gamma
choice.
radiation
No choice.
treatment.
It's all right.
And to add to their bill, Customs has some bad news about their cigars.
How much did you pay for the cigars?
Present.
Present?
I will.
Okay, well if you want them, they're going to be $513.11.
Why?
Because you've exceeded your limit, you didn't declare on it, therefore you forfeited your concession. If you don't want the cigars, we keep them, then destroy them.
Beautiful.
Wedding present.
It's a beautiful present.
That's what the law states.
This is my
so-
friend's present. So you, or
Officers in the mail handling centre are looking at a possible concealment of narcotics in a children's book sent from Brazil.
Well, this is the package that's concealed within the cover. Done a pretty good job. They've cut the entire cover, or front cover out.
Someone has gone to great lengths to try to get this past customs.
Under a bit of foam by the looks of it. Very time-consuming concealment anyhow. It's taken them quite some time to carefully cut out the cover of the book and then reseal it over to make it look like a normal book. It's all gathered towards this bottom end here, so which indicates a powder-type substance.
But the story doesn't finish there. As officers are about to discover, this book has a surprise ending. Passengers returning from their Cuban wedding have been hit with a quarantine fine, gamma irradiation costs, and now Customs are imposing over $500 of duty on their cigars.
Okay, what your option is, you can either pay for them now, or we can hold them. They'll be held at the airport for 5 days, then it gets transported to Queen's Bond, and then it gets held for another 90 days. If you still don't pick it up, or contact the number in that time, they get destroyed. So that's the options.
The Cuban cigars weren't declared and they have exceeded the limit, so the couple will have to either lose the cigars or pay duty on the lot.
too much. You know what? It's too much for me. All to it now. All to it. My instrument, I understand everything, but it's too much now, you know? I understand everything, but nobody understands us.
Two double points.
No choice.
finished pack.
Officers Chris and Michelle have just discovered a second well-concealed package in a children's book from Brazil.
We originally thought that was just a package in the front. The back didn't feel as soft as the front.
There we go. There's a second package in the back. We do get a fair amount of narcotics through the mail. People see it as an easier way of importing narcotics into the country. However, Customs does screen 100% of articles coming into the country, and as a result, we do get a fair few fines. We might just slit open the package and we'll do a narco test on it. Pink just next. And there we have it, with a blue layer on the bottom with a pink layer over the top. It's a positive test for cocaine.
The book contained 2 packages of cocaine weighing around 290 grams with a street value of $75,000. At Sydney Airport, an immigration officer and her supervisor are discussing the fate of this passenger who seems to have another motive for being in Australia.
So he's really got no real interest in Australia. He may visit friends here for a day. He's got no long-term plans here. His main goal is to get a flight to Bangkok. He can do that from New Zealand. I find it interesting that he left New Zealand basically on a whim last night and came to Australia, and the reasons he's given for entry to Australia today aren't ones that are compassionate or compelling to warrant the grant of a visa.
To help make immigration's decision, there is another important factor that the officer needs to confront the passenger with.
The situation is you have no visa for entry into Australia today. Your previous visa has ceased on the system on your last arrival.
I think, you think a bit carefully. I don't think it's fair,
Yeah. Well, I think what happened yesterday was very important. And it's quite an obvious thing that you should bring up in interview when I'm asking you questions about outstanding charges.
Okay.
Okay.
What you say, I have to travel from Auckland. It's not a very close flight from here to Auckland. Anyway, I have to stay here for a few hours, right? So you means I have to leave Australia. I will, but I don't want to go to Auckland. I will go to the Bangkok.
We have to return you to where you travelled from. Okay, and Qantas will arrange to get you on the flight because you're being refused immigration clearance due to the fact you don't have a visa.
I had visa. Okay. Is it possible to get a lawyer here and talk with a lawyer? I don't want to return to New Zealand.
Newlyweds have just returned from Cuba with wedding presents they're going to have to pay duty on. But the situation has gone from bad to worse.
But you have no money at all to pay the fine.
I got holiday now. 1 month holiday. Wedding. You know how much is the wedding?
We understand, but the issue is the fine and the treatment. You have to pay both before you leave here, the airport.
Either way, I lost everything.
No, we have no choice. You have to pay this fine before you leave.
I can take you outside. If you have someone outside waiting for you that may have some money with them, you can go outside, ask them and borrow.
My wife's right now at the car.
Okay.
The bride found the money to pay the fines. Now home with her new husband, that's happiness money can't buy.
See you later. The best is love, forget it. You love somebody, forget it.
The passengers later returned to the airport and paid over $500 in duty for their cigars.
Okay, have a nice day.
Yeah, we'll try to do that.
A passenger has been refused immigration clearance.
We have an Iranian New Zealand resident who's arrived here in Australia today. He doesn't have a visa for Australia. There is information from the New Zealand authorities that he has outstanding charges and should not have actually left New Zealand.
Yeah, I will solve that problem, I don't mind, but I just don't want to go back to New Zealand. Because I have a bail, if I go there straight away, police will arrest me.
He is currently talking to a lawyer to avoid being returned to New Zealand where he's facing criminal charges.
I have another question. Can I seek for asylum seeker here in Australia if I don't want to go back to New Zealand at all? Is it possible for me? But I hadn't done any criminal things, and the fact is I traveled is because I really cannot stay to New Zealand.
Also, the reasons he's giving for entry today aren't at this stage any compelling or compassionate reasons. What we've actually done is spoke to him, gave him a full interview. The information that he's given to us has given us no reason to grant him a visa, therefore we are refusing him entry. He's now been detained.
The passenger was sent back to New Zealand the next day to face charges of arson and theft. The passenger pleaded guilty to arson in Auckland District Court and was sentenced to 325 hours of community service.